We'll just give it a couple of minutes just to see who's going to be joining us, so we can start on time. So just grab some things that you'll need. If you've got any yoga blocks, grab some blocks. If you haven't got blocks, then grab yourself a couple of strong books. And if you haven't got a yoga belt, you can grab yourself your dressing gown cord. Okay, I think we're nearly ready to start. Okay, right then, we'll make a start. So thank you for joining me today for this beginners and level 1 class. So if you want to just bring yourself down to sitting just for a moment, sit with your legs crossed if that feels comfortable, or with one foot in front of the other. So just a little bit of housekeeping to begin with. If you're feeling unwell at this moment, then just maybe kind of sit and watch the video through and pick it up another time when you're feeling a little bit better. If you're new to yoga, then just take it nice and steady, take it easy. The aim is really not to do anything which involves pain. We don't really want to go there. If something feels slightly uncomfortable but you can breathe through it, then the general rule is that it's going to be okay and that you maybe need to work through these things. But if it causes an ouchy pain or something like that, then just please stay away from that or back off from it. If there's anything that you feel really uncomfortable with, that if you're not used to doing it and if it feels really awkward, then again, you can always message me via my website or on my Facebook page as well, and I'll try and answer some questions to you on that. Okay, so let's get started. So sitting up on your blocks or up on your strong books, or you can maybe have a cushion as well. So when you sit up a little bit higher, it just helps to lift the spine and to elevate the bottom and to extend and lift the spine. So we create space in the spine. So if we create space, then it becomes easier for mobility, and it becomes safer as well for mobility. So once we're sat quite comfortably, we're just going to bring the hands together. So if you have the hands just gently pressing, so right side pressing towards the left, left side pressing towards the right. And just notice when you press just how that feels across the shoulders. So hopefully we create kind of like a little bit of tension maybe across the shoulders. So when we're pushing, and we can then push and slowly start to ease off from the hands pushing together. And we'll feel that ease off then across from shoulder to shoulder. And then lessen that pressure even more. So it's just as if you're holding on to a little butterfly, something just in between the hands. Oh, we've got Rita joining us as well. She's going to sit in front of the fire, I think. Oh, there. So now that we have ourselves sat comfortably, just going to close the eyes. Just allow the attention just to be with the body and with the breath. Notice how you feel. Maybe the first time in today that you've actually just come to sit with yourself, just to see how you really feel. So allow the breath to be all-consuming with the body. So every time you inhale and you exhale, you feel that through the whole of the body. So once we have the two twin together, and it's time now just to set your intention. So think about what it is that's brought you to this session, that you want out of this session. Declaring headspace, or if you're working towards something. But make sure that it's heartfelt and personal to you. If you're unsure, maybe just have an open mind to go with the flow. Just to be on accepting who you are right now and what comes up during the practice. And then bringing the thumbs up just to the space between the eyes. So it's up to the Ajna chakra, our intuitive center. This just reaffirms your intention. And then taking the hands up over the crown. Your intention is then out there. And then we can draw the hands back down again towards the heart center. And then releasing the hands down to the knees. And just softly blinking the eyes open if they're not open already. Okay, so just take a moment just to, again, just see how you feel. Even after a few breaths, just allowing the body just to sit and just to settle. And then we can begin. So I'm going to ask you if you have got your 2 blocks or your books. I'm going to get you to come down onto your mat. So lying down on your backs. If you don't have a mat, it's not a big problem. Just kind of be on the carpet or on a towel, anything like that. So, I mean, I often, normally when I'm practicing at home, I'm just really on the rug in the living room. So we've got our 2 blocks or 2 strong books. We're just going to lay ourselves down. And one of the blocks, just leave it one side for a moment. The other one, just have into your hands. And take that back behind your head. It's going to stretch back, and then we're going to stretch away with the legs. So stretching out, a nice full stretch. Push away through the whole of the leg. So feel that moving right down from your underneath your bum cheeks, right down towards the heels, and drawing the toes back. And then draw back on your belly. Suck it back even more so you feel as if the small of the back is heading right into the floor. Notice what's happening with the rib cage. So you don't want it to stick up and a huge gap to be under here. So tuck the rib cage in, again pin it down to the floor. The arms can stretch back. So we're pushing the arms back, we're pushing the legs away. And then I want you to really draw back on your belly and feel as if there's a big weight on your hands. Big weight, you're pushing up into that weight. And also feel as if there's a big weight just around the ankles. So you feel as if you can almost just lift the legs up, but not quite. And keep the belly drawing back. Keep it drawing back even more. Just a couple more breaths. And then release. Okay, so we'll do it one more time. So have the arms stretching back, have the legs stretching away, get the small of the back pushing down towards the floor. Get the rib cage settled so it tucks in, push away through the heels. Imagine there's a weight across the ankles, there's a weight on top of this block on the hands. So we're aiming to try to lift that weight up, and we're aiming to lift the legs just a millimetre or so off the floor. Keep the small of the back pushing down, keep the rib cage in, keep the legs pushing away. Start to feel that engage in the core. So we should be able to hopefully feel that little shaking out through the core the more that you're drawing your belly back. And then we can release. And then just bring in the blocks back. So just bring the legs into a crook knee position. Take a little rock over from side to side. Okay, and then one more for the core. So engaging the core is massively important to the rest of the... Sorry. I'll leave that and then she can go out at her leisure. Okay, so engaging the core is massively important. So we need this for stability for the whole of the body and the movements and the poses. So we're going to really start to engage that core now. So what I'm going to get you to do now is keep your right leg bent. Stretch your left leg away. And you're going to take your book or your block and take the hand. And if we draw that right leg in, and you're just going to push Now you can do it so it's not quite on the knee, but push it into the leg, and the leg is pushing into the block. Take the arm back over the head, and again imagine that weight on your hand, and there's a weight around your ankle. You're drawing back through the belly, but we're pushing this hand and the block into the leg. So we're keeping it there. Now this foot, the raised leg, we're going to keep that foot flexed. So aim to lift the arm up a little bit, lift the leg up a little bit, and really start to feel that in the core. So you should, straight away, you should feel that shaking in your belly. And then release. Yeah, and bring the leg down. So we can swap over. So we're going to draw our left leg in. We're going to take the right hand with your book or your block. Push that. So again, I'm not kind of right into my knee. From there, or you can push it into the thigh. And the foot is flexed. So both feet are flexed. So on that right leg, it's stretching away. And then when we're ready, we're going to really engage that core, drawing back, push the hands, push that right hand into the left leg. Start to raise your right leg a little bit off the floor. We're lifting up with the arm that's back behind the head. Feel as if there's a weight on the ankle. Feel as if there's a weight on that block behind your head. Pushing in, squeezing back through the belly. Draw it back even more, even more, even more. And then release. Good. And then stretch away. So again, the stretch we did a little bit earlier. Push back. Take your arms back over your head. And then have the palms facing up. Feel again as if there's a weight pushing down away onto the ankles. Not really going too far with this time. So we just keep the belly engaged. And then bringing the hands back down. Okay, bend your knees. You can then draw the legs in, take a little rock. And as we rock, you can either roll to the side to come up, or you can rock to coming up. Okay, so if we come over just onto our hands and knees now. Take your big toes together and take the knees out a little bit wider than the hips. Bottom back towards the heels. Take the arms and stretch them forward. So the forehead then is down to the floor. So a nice big stretch. Now in this position, because we'll get a good stretch out and small of the back here. So if your bum is up in the air and your head is down, you want to take the bottom back. Now I know that will make the head stick up. So you can take your blocks or a cushion or your books underneath the head. And just discard them as you're not needing them. So more importantly, to keep the bottom back and to get the stretch out right across the small of the back. So arms getting a nice big stretch. So we feel then as if we're ready to move on. So come up, hands and knees, bring your knees in. We're going to tuck the toes, sit the bottom back. So our first Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. We're going to keep the ears in line with the arms. We're going to slowly start to press back through the legs, lifting the knees up and slowly start just to come up. Now, legs may feel a little bit tight, so we can just start just to pedal it out a little bit. So feel all that stretching out right through the soles of the feet. And through the backs of the legs, arms nice and strong. And the whole time, the whole of the hand is pushing down just to ease the chest back a little bit more. Notice that the rib cage is housed evenly in the skin. So we're not jutting the rib cage down. We're keeping the small of the back long. And then we can slowly start just to walk the feet just towards the front edge of your mat. Bend your knees, a good deep bend. And then start to roll to come up. And taking the shoulders back. So just have a little wriggle out once you come up. Okay, so I'm going to turn this way just so you can see a little bit more clearly what I'm doing. Okay, right. So the feet are firmly planted down onto the floor. You can go a little bit wider with the feet if you want, just to increase your stability, just a wider base. So we're going to come up, pressing down into the big toe. So we're lifting the heels. And then back down again. And then again. So come up, press down into the big toe, lifting those heels, and then back down again. Okay, and one more, press down, lifting up, press down through the big toe. There's a tendency to roll over to the little toe side, so just really feel as if we're pushing down to that big toe, and then back down. Okay, if we can do the same again, but then with the arms raised this time. So I'm going to start just to take the arms up over the head. So they come up, we come up onto the toes, pressing down into the big toe, and then as you come back down again, bringing the arms down. So just doing twice more. So inhale, taking the arms up over the head. So coming up, staying on the toes, pressing into that big toe, lifting the heels right up, and then back down again. And then one more. So inhale, come all the way up. Holding here, and then back down again. Good. Okay, bring the hands in. So hands come back into the Anjali Mudra, doing Namaste. So we'll bring back here, and again we can bring our attention back onto our intention, which we set at the beginning. That's going to carry you through your practice. So take a moment there, get the shoulders to roll back, draw the chin back. And then drop the hands down. Inhale, take the arms up over the head. Exhale now, go wide, come all the way down to the floor. Inhale, just coming up to halfway. So press the hands into the shins, lengthen forward, and then back down again. We're going to take our right leg, a nice big stride back. So it's almost like a get, set, go position. Then left leg goes back. Bring the knees down. Take the bottom back towards the heels. And then as we come up with a rounded back, we're going to flatten out with the feet, edge your hips forward, lifting the chest. Then head down, pull up between the shoulder blades, draw back through your belly, tuck the toes, and lifting up. So just walk the feet in just a little way. You can just edge over a little bit from side to side, pedal the feet as much as you need to. And then come right up onto your toes. Keep getting the chest to head back, hips up. And then sinking the heels back. From here, we're just going to start to walk the feet back in, right up to where you started. Bend your knees as much as you need to get the hands down to the floor. Then take your arms wide, plant down through the feet, work it through the thighs, suck into your core, arms up and coming back in. Okay, same again on the other side. Drop the hands down. Inhale as you take the arms up. Exhale as you go wide, come all the way down to the floor. Inhale, come up to halfway, lengthen forward. So this gets a nice extension right through the whole of the spine. And back down again. Left leg is going to go back in that get, set, go position. Right leg goes back. We're in a plank. Drop the knees down. Keep the toes as they are. Take the bottom just back towards the heels. From there, we come up. We're just going to edge forward, releasing the feet, then head down. Pull all the way back to the toes and lift. So get a little bit smoother on that transition. So once we're here again, if you need to, just pedal out a little bit with the feet. And take a few breaths. Okay, right up onto the toes, then sink the heels back, and then slowly start to walk the feet in. And bend the knees as much as you need to. Plant the feet down, work it into the thighs, suck into the core, arms are up over the head and drawn back in. Okay, how are we doing? We all right? So again, just reset yourself. Make sure that your shoulders are back, your ears are back and lined up over your shoulders. So draw that chin back in. Make sure that we're drawing in across the core, the rib cage isn't sticking forward. Okay, drop the hands down. Inhale as you take the arms up. Exhale as we go wide. Come all the way down to the floor. Inhale as you come up to halfway. Lengthen forward through that spine. And then back down again. Take the right leg. Nice big stride back. Take the left leg back. Bring the knees down. This time our elbows are going to bend backwards as if they're kind of like a camel coming down when it lies down. So we bend those elbows back. But we also feel here we should feel this bit like sucking in towards the rib cage, so not splaying out. So elbows are in, bending back, we come forward, nearly to the floor, we reach forward. So lifting up the heart center, lift the chest, look up towards the ceiling, and then head down, pull all the way back, drawing back, tuck the toes and lifting up. Edge your feet in a little bit closer. Okay, this time now we can either walk the feet forward or take a little jump, just a little way. So we bend and straighten the legs and just a little jump forward. Okay, and back down. And then inhale again, plant the feet, come all the way up, suck the belly in and draw the hands in. So same again on the other side. Drop the hands down. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, go wide, come all the way down. Inhale up to halfway. Lengthen forward. So never miss that opportunity to lengthen through the spine. And then hands back down. So left leg, big stride back. Right leg back. Into our plank position. Knees down. Relax the feet. So elbows are bending back. On here, it's a serratus anterior muscle. It'll suck in towards the body. So it comes in as we come forward. We lengthen through. Lifting up with the heart center, looking up towards the ceiling. My feet are stretching back. Head down, pull back, suck the belly back, tuck the toes, lifting up. Edge in just a little way if you need to. Just rock over a little bit from side to side. Pedal the feet as much as you need to. Keep drawing the belly back. So we can then bend and straighten the legs. Bend and straighten, bend and straighten. As you're doing that, keep sucking the belly back. Look forward now between the hands. We can either walk the feet in or take a little jump to get there. And head is down. We inhale, come all the way back up. Okay, and hands in. Take a couple of breaths. So if you're a beginner, not always used to being on your hands for this amount of time, so please don't beat yourself up on this. Just take it nice and steady. If I'm holding something and it's taking a lot longer than you would normally be in it, just come down and then just meet us when you feel okay. Okay, so we're going to add a few lunges into it now. So we're going to drop the hands down. Inhale as you take the arms up over the head. Exhale, go wide, coming all the way down. Inhale, come up to halfway, lengthen forward. And then exhale back down. Take the right leg, a nice big stride back. Bring that knee down to relax the foot. Take the arms up over the head. Big stretch up out of it. Now, if you need to, you can always, if being on the knee is a little bit awkward, just roll your mat in so you've got a little bit of double thickness, or get a towel or something underneath that knee. So arms reaching up. Now I'm going to bring the hands down, so hands can come down where they were. Now we're going to just draw back. You can either keep the foot pressing down or you can pull the toes back and lifting up. So we're going to do that 3 times. So that was 1. So then we come forward and then back again. So drawing back, that's 2. And then again, so we come forward and then back. And that's 3. So we're back to here. We can take the arms up, big stretch up out of it. Taking the arms back maybe a little bit further and then bringing the hands down. So we can unfold the mat, stretching out through that back leg, and then front leg back to join it. Now you can either join us all at Ardha Mukha Svanasana, so that's with your bum raised, or we can come down, and we can come down and through Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, this upward facing dog. And then head down, pull all the way back, lifting up. Edge your feet in, get your set up right. Keep drawing your belly back, keep pushing back through the hands. Take a few breaths. Okay, bend and straighten the legs. Remember, you do have the option to walk the feet forward. So but if you want to work with the jump, then we keep squeezing the belly back, keep squeezing it back, squeezing it back. We keep drawing back. and then take a little jump. So head down, and then bend the knees, really plant down as you come up and bringing the hands in. So we're going to do the same again on the other side. So dropping the hands down, inhale, taking the arms up. Exhale, go wide, come all the way down to the floor. Inhale, as you come up to halfway, lengthen forward, and then back down again. So taking our left leg back this time, nice big stride, bring the knee down. Flatten the foot, we can take the arms up, stretching up. Now remember again, if you want that extra padding underneath the knee, then folding up your mat or a towel placed under there. So we take a big stretch up. Okay, then hands come back down. So we have our Humanasana stretches. So this is a half splits or monkey pose. So we're going to draw back and then come forward. So remember, when you come forward, you're not really wanting that pressure on the knee. So make sure that we feel as if we're squeezing the belly in and up as we come forward. So you feel the stretch out more through the hip flexor on that back leg. And then taking it back again. So draw back as much as you can. And then again, coming forward. So that's 2. And then back once more. So pulling back. So we'll feel this long stretch here on this leg. And then come back. Again, taking the arms up, so raising up out of it, and then placing your hands down. So again, you can unfold that mat, take that front leg back, so we're into our plank. Knees go down, and then relax the feet, chin and chest down, and we're lifting up. So we're in Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. We're going to pull back, all the way back, into Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Just edging your feet in, take a few breaths here. Okay, bend and straighten the legs. Bend and straighten. Look forward, look to the top edge of your mat. Look between your hands. And when you're ready, take a little jump or step the feet in. Head is down. And then plant the feet. Work it into the legs. Drop up into the belly. Taking the arms up and bringing the hands in. Okay, so once we're here, you can either close the eyes, keeping the hands together, or you can keep the eyes open, just taking the gaze down. Okay, so releasing the hands down. Now take your feet just a little bit wider and just turn your feet out slightly. So we're going to come down into a squatting position and working into a pose called Bakasana. So we're only going to kind of work the first part of this, unless you feel really comfortable to do so, and then you can finish the pose. So we're going to make sure that we feel as if the feet are firmly planted and we're drawing up on the legs. We're squeezing in the belly. And Rita's joined us. Okay. So we're squeezing in on the belly. Now I'm going to start just to bend the knees. Keep squeezing in and then aim to come forward. So bring the hands down to the floor. Hands are going to be with fingers spread. And we're about kind of 8 inches or so maybe in front of the feet. So we're going to start now just to come right up onto your toes, but really feel that squeezing in of the belly. Bend your knees a little bit more out to the side and then hook them onto the arms. So they hook and they're pressing in. We're looking forward with the chest. Looking forward. Keep the chest moving forward. Still looking forward. Keep the head lifting. So from here, now you can either have the option just to maybe lift one foot and then bring it down, or the other foot, bring it down. If you feel you're able, you suck into the belly, you lift one, you lift the other. Then placing the feet back down again. Okay, so we can have the feet firmly pressing down. We slowly roll and we come up. And taking the shoulders back, bring the feet back in together. Okay, so we're going to take the legs out nice and wide. We'll go through some basic standing postures and then we're going to add them into our routine. So take the arms out to the sides. And then with your left foot, turn just the foot in. So keep the hip and the chest facing towards me. Turn the whole of the right leg out. We're going to start just to push into that left foot as you start to bend your right knee. Keep the knee lined up directly on top of the ankle bone and keep the shoulders on top of the hips. So we have Virabhadrasana 2. So it's one of the warrior poses. Make sure that we still feel as if there's a little bit of softness there in the body as well. So we're not holding that too rigid. And then slowly come back up. Turn the foot in. Just refresh your arms. Arms out to the side. If they get really tired, just rest them down just onto your hips for now. Otherwise, keeping them out. So we're going to turn in with the right foot, turning out with the left leg. I'm going to start just to bend the knee. So softly bend it. No pressure going on that knee. It's all pushing back into the leg that you've left behind. So arms are reaching out. Knee nicely planted over the ankle bone, shoulders over the hips. And then slowly start to come back up again. Turn the feet back in and just refresh the arms and then bring them down. Okay, just maybe go a tiny bit wider. Taking the arms out to the sides. So we're going to go again and add a little bit more onto it. So turning in with the left foot, turning out with the right leg. Keep that lift going right through the body. Slowly start to bend the knee. Keep the lift. Extend over as you exhale and bring the elbow just above the knee. Arm going over the head. So there's a diagonal line right from the outer edge of that left foot right through to the fingertips. See if we can turn a little bit more of the chest looking up towards the ceiling. And then bring in the arms back. And then bring the leg back in. Turn the foot back in and just refresh the arms. So again, we can turn in with the right, turn out with the left. Keep the lift. Exhale as we bend the knee. Inhale, exhale, lengthen over, elbow down just above the knee. So I'm going to have the palm facing up. Turn and look at it this time. Look along the inside of the arm. Bring the arm up and over the head. Keep pushing right back into the outer edge of on the straight leg side. So remember, your strength is what you've left behind. And then bring it back and come in all the way up. Turn the feet in, bringing the hands down and just heel toe the feet back in. Okay, so let's add that in. So being at the top edge of your mat, bringing the hands in, drop the hands down. Inhale as you take the arms up over the head. Exhale as you go wide, come all the way down to the floor. Inhale, just coming up to halfway, either hands on the shins or if the fingers down on the floor. And then all the way back down. Take your right leg, a nice big stride back. Bring your knee down. Again, if you need the extra padding, roll your mat up, taking the arms up over the head. Bring the hands back down. Straighten out in that back leg. We're going to then just turn it, spin it round. Bring the arm up, come all the way up. The arms are out to the side. Extend over, bring the elbow down onto the knee. Arm going over the head, turning and looking up. If we can, we're not really resting down onto that leg. It should be the legs which are doing all the work. Bringing yourself back up. Okay, then we'll go back down into it. So this backhand, we're going to bring right over the top, hands down onto the floor. Pivot round on that back foot, front leg back to join it. Knees down, flatten the feet, chin and chest come down. Slide through, lifting up. Head down, pull back, Tuck the toes and lift up. Edge your feet in just a little way. Suck back through your belly. Make sure that we still have that control. Then we can bend and straighten the legs. Bend and straighten, bend and straighten. We can look forward and either walk the feet or jump the feet forward. Head down and inhale, come all the way up. And drawing the hands back in. Okay, so same again on the other side. Drop the hands down. Inhale as you take the arms up over the head. Exhale, come all the way down to the floor. Inhale up to halfway. And back down again. Take your left leg, big stride back. Remember that bit of padding if you need it underneath the knee. Taking the arms up. Bringing the hands down. Straighten out to the back leg. And then turn it. So then we can take out, it'll be your left arm coming up and over. So we're in Virabhadrasana 2. We're going to extend over. Elbow down just above the knee. Turning on that backhand, palm facing up. And then bringing the arm over the head. So we're in a pose called Parsvakonasana. We come back up again. Virabhadrasana 2. Bring this backhand now up and over. Place it down. Pivot on your back foot. Front leg back. Into your plank. Knees down. Chin and chest come down. Slide forward, lifting through. Keep squeezing the belly. Head down, draw back. Tuck the toes and lifting up. So up into Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Okay, take 5 long deep breaths here. So belly is drawing back. Just bend and straighten the legs. Bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Look forward between the hands. Either walk or jump the legs forward. Head down. Take the arms wide. Come all the way up. And drawing the hands in. Okay, well done. So just closing the eyes. And be quietly pleased with what you've achieved. Okay, softly open the eyes. And drop the hands down. So turning, taking the legs out nice and wide. Turn the toes in slightly. Bring the hands onto the hips. Press down, roll the shoulders back. I'm going to start just a tip to come forward. So where the hands are on the hips, your thumbs should be behind, pushing into your bum cheek. So we can grab with the fingers, pull back. So if I show you from sideways on, so my thumbs are going to push in, my hands are going to pull back. So almost feels you're tipped forward. So remember, those toes are just gently tucked in. So heels are out slightly wider. So press the thumbs, pull back with the fingers, tip forward. Now just come into halfway. So while we're here, we're going to make sure that we're pushing right to the outer edges of the feet. As you push to the outer edges of the feet, you start to wake up these muscles here. You maybe feel that. If you pull, if you're not feeling it, push a little bit harder right to those outer edges. Now that's going to help protect your knees. It's going to help keep the arches of the feet lifted. so they're not rolling in. If they roll in, they'll start to collapse the knees, and that's where you can start to take a bit of stress in this onto your knees. It works nicely into the hips. We start to come down now a little bit further. Bring the hands down to the floor. So take a little ease over from side to side if that feels a little bit tight. You might even want to be just on the fingertips, or if you've got your book or whatever underneath your hands just to help prop you up a little bit, then that's fine. Okay, so hands again, if they're flat down onto the floor, you can maybe get a little bit deeper into that movement. And then coming back into the center, onto the fingertips. Now again, push the feet to those outer edges. Bring the hands back onto the hips. So pushing the hands in, push the thumbs in. You're going to help to tip that pelvis again. We're lifting the head. We're coming all the way back up. Now we're going to turn, so we've got the toes pointing out this time. So the heels are in. So we're going to come into goddess pose. Now, hands can either relax down onto the legs with this one, or we can have the arms up. So I'll show you as we're going to it. So we're just going to start to bend the legs. So again, we can rest the arms there, or we can bring the arms up. So if you want it a little bit stronger, the arms would be up. If you're working just solely on the legs and the hips, then keep the hands in this position, just pushing out gently to the sides. Okay, so we're holding there. Those that can stay up. Couple of breaths. Now, making sure that we're not sticking out with the bum in this one. There's a tendency to do this because it takes the awareness away from here, from this area working. So with your bum sticking back, you're not working quite as much here. So make sure that you're drawing in on your belly and the tailbone is tucking down. Okay, let's just work 1 or 2 more breaths. Good, well done. Hands onto the legs. Now, not onto your knees, onto your thighs, but plant those feet down. Really work it, pulling up into the legs. Heel toe the feet back in. Okay, so we're going to take the legs just a little bit more than hip distance apart. So if I stand sideways on it, I know it'll seem awkward to begin with, but you'll see where we're going with it. So feet are out kind of roughly about the width of your mat, so that's about 2 foot wide, and toes turned out slightly. So again, if you want to feel as if you're really zipped up, so pull right up as if you've zipped up, tight pair of jeans to right up into your chest, and then start to come forward. So you can bend your knees, come forward so hands are down to the floor. Sit your bottom down. Take a little rock over from side to side so you feel comfortable with it. If the heels are up off the floor, you can either roll your mat up a little bit to kind of get them down. If you feel that you're well connected there, then that's okay. But we're aiming to get the heels down. Keep the chest lifted. Now we're going to take our left hand to begin with and push that away so it's on the inside of the leg. So I will turn this way and then you can see. So we're going to push that arm away. It's pushing into the leg, keeping the chest lifted. And we're going to start to take the arm and raise that arm up towards the ceiling. Now, if you can get your left arm a little bit lower, see if we can wrap that top arm back behind your back, and then the arm can come round the leg and it can grab hold. If you can't, it's fine. You can either keep the hand down onto the floor, one arm up, or just stay into the squat position. And then bring that hand back down. Working onto the other side now. So I'm going to turn, so I'm this way around. So the hand reaches out to the side, and then we're going to take our left arm up. So reaching that arm up as much as we can. Take a nice twist with it. So we start to open up a little bit more in the chest. Right arm can stretch out a little bit more. Top arm is going to come round. That lower arm starts to bend back and we can grab hold. And we can turn and look back over the shoulder. If you haven't caught, then don't worry about it. So either just being with the hand down on the floor and the arm up, or even in this squat position is maybe enough. Really feel that sucking in and drawing in and up on the belly. Okay, now from here to come back out of it, so if we unwind, come back round, hands are down, just start to lift the bottom up. Bring the legs back in. Now again, bend the knees. So we're going to sit back. So we're back down to sitting. Oh, good, well done on that so far. Okay, so from here, if we lift up, pull up as much as you can. Take your hands underneath your legs, lifting up, lift the chest. Now stretching out with the legs. Place the hands back behind. So you can even have, if your arms are long and the hands are right down to the floor, you can kind of like slump down a little bit. So if everybody is on their fingertips, so with the arms slightly bent, we know we've got the muscles around the torso that are supporting the body and not just the arms pulling us up. So, or the arms holding us up. So fingers are facing forward. So, and we can just roll the shoulders, keeping that lift, stretching away through the legs. So even if you're not used to sitting, and lots of people aren't with the legs so straight, it can feel a little bit much. So just do what you can with it, see how you go. Okay, and then if we take the hands now and take them further back, so about 8 inches back or so from your hips. So that'll take you back and you'll have a little bit more of a lean back. So legs are nice and straight. I'm going to start to extend the toes, push the toes away. Now if we lift up the chest, so lifting up as much as we can. We're pressing down with the hands as if you're trying to pull them up away from the floor. We keep the chest lifting, we keep the toes pointing. Now all there is left to lift now is the hips. So keep the legs strong and work as if they're one unit pushing together. So we slowly start to lift. We're looking along that line of the body. We can look at the toes, keeping that lift. If you feel comfortable with it, we can take the head back. Don't worry about it. If that's not where you're going, you can just stay with the chin tucked in. Keep pressing down. And then slowly start to bring the bottom back down again. And we come back up. Okay, just roll the shoulders. Okay. Now, if you're near a little bit of wall space, that's going to be great. If you're in front of the sofa, you can use the edge of the sofa as well, so the cushioning part. You can press your feet into there. So let me show you where we're going. Now, the hardest bit of this is to get in sideways on. So you want to be sat as near up to the wall or the sofa as you can. You're going to lie yourself down and spin round so the legs are up the wall. Now, from what we've done in this session, if you feel that you've already done enough, you don't want to go any further, then that's fine. Just lie here, just with the legs up the wall for or even like with the legs bent, just hooked over the edge of your sofa. So inverted postures are massively important just for helping really rejuvenate the body. And also as well, just in this pose for helping to calm the mind down. So hands again, we're going to have the inner arms and palms, they're facing up. We're going to bend the knees, pressing down through the feet. Now as we press down through the feet, we slowly start to bring the hips up. Now you can judge how high up you want to go with this. So we slowly, I'm not doing anything else apart from pushing with my feet. And we can always just roll back down if we want to. Okay, so again, I'm not really moving the rest of my body. I'm just pushing through the feet. My head's not moving. My arms aren't moving. I'm just going to come up as high up as feels okay to go. Now, once I'm there, I'm kind of stuck here, bring the hands in and take them onto my back. I can come right up onto my toes. Again, no wriggling. Then we can start to lift one leg. We stretch that leg up and let the other leg join it. Or you can keep the legs just onto the wall. So we push up right through the soles of the feet. We push up through the ball of the foot, just slightly further away. Spread your toes. Allow the attention just to be on the breathing. And then one foot goes down to the wall. Other leg is stretching up. So the strength is what you've left behind. Then place that foot down, and as carefully as we went up, we come back down again. So once the bottom touches down, and we can just stay there with the legs up the wall, or with the feet hooked over the edge of the sofa, and just take a few breaths. Okay, so then to come back down, bend the legs, just roll back over to the side. Bring yourselves just back over onto your mat. So a nice simple twist to finish with. So if we just lie ourselves down, and on your back, bring your right leg in towards the chest. Take hold, squeeze that leg in. We're keeping our left leg stretched out. Now the left hand stays on top of the right leg. Take the right arm out to the side and take that cross over the body. Nice and simple, just going over. Now this left hand now, it's not grabbing in, it's just resting on top and just easing that leg over. We keep this right shoulder pinned down. You'll feel a nice twist going through the center of the body. And then we come back to the center. And we can just let that leg go back down. Then onto the other leg. So we're going to draw that left leg in, take hold, squeeze the leg in. And then we can just take our left arm out to the side. Right hand is on the top as we go over. So rolling over. Making sure that that left shoulder stays pinned down. Take a few breaths, feel that twist happening through that midsection of the body. So it rings out. When we work with a twist, a reclining twist or seated twist towards the end of a session, really helps to kind of clear out any of the dross inside the body, ridding the body of toxins. Then we just bring it back, stretch that leg out. Now you can either just stay here, take the legs out a little bit wider, let the arms just rest either down by the sides, inner arms and palms facing up, or have the hands resting on the belly. If you do feel as if you want to be a little bit more covered up, you can always just grab a blanket to go over you, or a cushion maybe underneath the backs of your legs, just to take the pressure off a little bit just on your back if you don't want to be lying flat. Okay, so from lying down, just maybe take a little kind of rock out, head going side to side. Make sure that chin stays in. Nice bit of freedom there in the neck. You can even maybe just roll the legs in and roll the legs out, roll the legs in, roll the legs out. Doing the same with the arms, so rolling the arms in, rolling the arms out. And after we've done just a couple of times, then just leave the arms just rolled out. Again, you can bring the hands back onto the belly if you wish. Leave the feet falling out to the sides. So the eyes closed. Just tuning into the breath. Picking up on that soft, smooth rhythm of the breath. Once you have that rhythm of the breath, once we're able to capture that, just work a quick mental scan through the body, just picking up on any areas of tension, any obvious areas of tension. Maybe holding that across the brow, even if the head feels a little bit tight. If we're clenching the jaw. There's any area, obvious tension. Take the focus of the breath down as you exhale, allowing that area to completely release and to let go. So fully commit to that breath. Fully believe it. So as you inhale, inhaling into the whole body. Exhaling the whole of the body. Just being fully aware. Noticing which areas of the body you feel release. If there's any little bits of the body you feel twitching or itchy, it's just the body starting to let go, starting to release, starting to unwind. So again, work 3 long deep breaths to allow the whole of the body to release and let go. From the top of the head down to the tips of the toes. Inhale, fully exhale. And take 3 more breaths. So just softly now, just opening the eyes. Just noticing the softness of your gaze. Swallow a couple of times, just bring back your sense of taste. Run your thumbs maybe over the tips of your fingers, or even over the clothes. Just bring back that sensitivity of touch. Open your ears to any sounds. And just being aware of where you are in the room. Just bringing in your surroundings. Just noticing how you feel. Calm, relaxed, and content. And then gently start to make a few movements. So making those movements a little bit bigger, maybe just rolling the shoulders or bending your knees, taking a gentle rock over from side to side. And over the next 1 or 2 breaths, starting either to roll over to the right side or rock yourselves up to sitting. And once you're up to sitting, just come back and join me just with the palms together. And just for a moment longer, just close the eyes. So now that you're sitting, just bring your attention back to your intention that you set at the beginning. And then to close the practice, bringing the hands up over the crown. Drawing the hands down so we stop at the Ajna chakra, third eye or intuitive center. Come down to the Vishuddha, the throat. We speak our truth and listen well. Come down to the heart center, the Anahata chakra, center for love and compassion. Down to the Manipura and the solar plexus, giving us our will and our drive, our determination. Down to the Svadhisthana chakra, our sacral area, for our ability to change when we need to. The Muladhara at the base of the spine, strength and our stability. And just bring the hands back to the Anahata chakra. Again, this being our center for love and compassion. Now, although your practice that you've done today is for yourself, you'll benefit from that practice by doing it. With the energy you created, just bring to mind someone you feel could do with a little bit of help right now, and dedicate that part of your practice and the energy to that person or to that thing. It could be a dog or a cat, as well as being a person. But dedicate it to them. Namaste. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. If you haven't already, you can subscribe at the bottom somewhere along here, maybe down there. There's a subscribe button, so you could subscribe, and you can press the bell on it as well, and then you'll get notifications. So you can either join me at 7:30, where I'll be doing level 1/level 2. So it'll be kind of vamped up a little bit from this one, or just come back and watch that another time. Okay, thank you very much, and see you soon from me and Rita. Bye.